Thanks for coming out and watching the Oxymoronic Reddit Professional Show, where I showcase the best and worst of the internet. Here I comment on brilliant and hilarious comment chains regarding dumb shit on the internet for you to enjoy. Make sure to subscribe, hit the little bell button so that you get notifications every time we come up with a new video. Enjoy this week's show.
Last month, I spent $770 eating out. This month, I've spent $42. This is only the first of many financial self-control habits I'm trying to get myself into. In my credit card's April-May billing cycle, I spent $770 eating out as one person. I decided to track my spending in this area by putting all my meals I've been eating out on a credit card used only for that purpose. I looked at the end of the month and was absolutely dumbfounded at the amount of money I was spending eating out. I thought it might be $300-ish. Anyway, I paid off the credit card, angrily, and made a vow I would eat at home at every possible meal I could for the foreseeable future. I've spent about $70 a week on groceries, was about $50 per week prior. So plus $42, I went from $1,000 per month food expense. How the ever-living hell was I making ends meet with this, to $322 per month, and the kicker is I still have tons of food left over at the end of the week. The only 2 meals I bought this month were a BK chicken sandwich while I was on the road and a birthday meal for someone. It feels awesome to have a 70% reduction in spending in this area just due to self-control. I'm planning on using this self-control in other areas. Next one is booze and cigarettes. Then my shitty habit of mobile game microtransactions. Sometimes I don't know how I've made it this far without being broke. That is amazing. Dining out can add up so fast. I recently started budgeting more strictly and it's really satisfying to only spend money at restaurants when it's necessary or is really worth it. Not spending $12 on a sandwich at lunch when I could just bring one from home makes me feel so in control of my life, haha. That said, sometimes dining out is worth a little money. Once you feel like you're in control of your spending, I hope you let yourself indulge from time to time. Dining out is worth it, but I'd rather spend $50 on a nice meal than $10 on fast food or fast casual 5 times. Treat yourself, just make sure it's worth it. Agreed. I did a similar move not that long ago, but it was more for health reasons. Didn't want to be 300 pounds by 25, now I only eat out for great food, no more McDonald's, Wendy's, or Sonic. Now eating at home and eating healthy is a bit more costly than just eating at home on the cheap side. But once you start that healthy track, it's almost impossible to go back. It's really satisfying to only spend money at restaurants when it's necessary or is really worth it. This is only too true. I'm a pretty good cook, so I just cook most foods I want. I'm not going out to spend $15 on a steak I can cook just as good or better at home. I get my cows by the half or whole with others, so my steak is cheap. For a family of 3, we usually spend less than $75 a month eating out. We do maybe one sit-down dinner, usually when visiting family an hour away, or hit up some cheap fast food out of necessity. We usually spend $350 or less a month in groceries. I know people I work with that spend probably $200 a month eating out for lunch. Only lunch. Then, about being broke. Learn to cook. It's cheaper and healthier. All my coworkers constantly complain about money problems while also eating out every single day. It's crazy that people can't make that connection. Sure, it took some time to put together my lunches for the week, but it's not like I lost any money on Sunday afternoon doing it. I have not successfully committed to a 3-meal-a-day schedule in a long time. I am actually more impressed by the commitment to travel to 3 different restaurants in one day than the behavior of eating out for every meal. I usually only eat 2 larger meals a day. I also live very close to many places to eat. I can go get a grilled chicken sandwich and be back home faster than I could bake a potato, heat some chicken, or even cook rice. I could go get a steak from one of 10 different places before I could even boil water. I don't find cooking very fun, and I find cleanup after to be even worse. The time commitment for cooking at home just isn't something I want to do, when I could use the time for so many other things. If I didn't make so much money, I would go back to rice and pasta, but for now, I don't even drink coffee. I have the spare money to throw at never having to wash a dish. I understand. I like cooking, but it's definitely not a time-smart activity. To cook a simple sweet potato, salmon, and sweet corn dinner takes me at least an hour. Before adding the cost of 1 pound of salmon, $10. Lucky for me, my Nigerian origin means there are several dishes I can make, we call them soup and stew, in larger volume and refrigerate, and they used to eat things like rice, pasta, yams, etc. through the week. That said, I still definitely go out and enjoy a steak or nice seafood meal once or twice a week because life is too short to not enjoy good food. The time to cook and me being too lazy is probably why I barely eat 2 meals in a day. I do work from home. You're doing great here. Saving almost $700 is no small accomplishment. I know you feel like you want to jump into controlling spending in other areas, but I would advise you to just keep on top of the eating out for a couple months longer, and not worry about the other things. Just try and reduce total spending by concentrating on not eating out. This will encourage habit formation when it comes to food. After that, you can move on to booze, cigs, and in-app purchases. Having seen this film, you should know you quitting booze and cigarettes at the same time is the most successful. If you quit just one, a lot of people fail. 3 beers in and you are borrowing a friend for a cigarette. A steak and cigarette? Well, a beer would go great with that. Hope you the best. I honestly have no idea how I'm going to go about this one. That's why they call it a challenge though. I'm undoubtedly an alcoholic. When I go out, it's literally difficult to get drunk unless I want to drop $150 on patron shots, the only thing that consistently gets me a buzz at home anymore. And the cigarettes will be worse, since I skip my drinking nights 1 or 2 times a week as it is. I can't go 3 hours without getting grumpy, and by grumpy I mean, I turn into a raging bitch. I'm considering trying to get Chantix/the patch through my insurance, but I do in fact have to come up with a plan. The groceries will have been easy compared to the next challenge. Uber Eats is the worst thing ever. I spent way too much fucking money just buying food. It's a habit that's tough to break. Congrats for getting there. I bet your waistline is going to trim up, too. For me, this is one of the biggest benefits. Apart from the joy of cooking, eating at home means I can reduce the amount of sugar/carbs/etc. in my meals and load it with veggies. It also allows me to control my portions a little more. I do probably undereat occasionally because I'm trying to get the most out of a cook-up to last me a week, but in reality it doesn't bother me. I can always top up with a slice of toast/bread or grab some fruit or similar for cheap. Both my wallet and waistline are happy. According to Mint.com, we spent $2,200 on food and dining in May and are on track to do it again in June, 2 adults and 2 kids. Ugh. A 70% reduction would be amazing, great job. How do you spend $2,000 plus on food for just 4 people? We spent $1,400 on groceries and $800 on restaurants. I would have guessed we spent $1,500 total, so I am glad I downloaded Mint and learned the truth. Groceries includes toiletries and stuff like that too though. My goal is to stay under $2,000 for June. I will consider that a victory. Still, with toiletries included, $2,000 still seems ridiculous. I live with my parents, dead missus though, so legally you're not allowed to mock me, win, and we spend £500 per month on groceries. We save a ton by going Costco, but still, $2,000 is insanely ridiculous. 2-person family. Eat out all 3 meals. $180 per month. SE Asia. Does not include occasional deep-fried insect snack. I agree it seems high, only because I see other people spend a lot less, but if you break it down it doesn't seem that crazy to me. $2,000 divided by 4 people is $500 per person. Divide that by 30 days and you get $16 per person per day. That comes out to about $5 per meal per person per day. How much cheaper should it be? $500 per person is still a lot. How frequently are you eating out and what kind of places are you eating? My wife and I go out twice a week and cook expensive food, salmon, scallops, etc., and our monthly food bill between groceries and eating out is $500 to $600. I don't know how you could spend $1,400 on groceries and still spend $800 with 2 kids who presumably don't eat that much. You guys must be wasting some of those groceries and then eating out instead. 1. Grocery. You need to examine your grocery receipts and then track how much grocery food waste you have. Can you use more coupons or buy items when they are on sale? Also, where are you shopping? 2. Eating out. Then look at how frequently you eat out and how expensive those places are. Can you cook more at home to replace eating out as much? Maybe cook meals that last 2 nights or use crockpots more. How in the ever-loving Christ did you manage to spend $25 a day on food? Uber Eats is a hell of a drug. No joke, it goes like this. 7 a.m., leaving home, I'm going to skip breakfast today. 7:45 a.m., oh shit, I'm hungry, let me stop at Chick-fil-A, $6. 11 p.m., I think I'm just going to walk to Wendy's and order off the value menu. 12 p.m., yes, fellow co-workers, our Uber Eats hibachi will be here in 20 minutes. $15. 6 p.m., about 1/2 the time, I don't feel like cooking. Let me just look at Uber Eats. Surely I will control myself. $15. Yes. Uber Eats is evil. Yeah, we have Bite Squad and it is entirely too tempting. I had Mexican leftovers in the fridge from a delivery yesterday and still almost ordered sushi for lunch today. I quit smoking last month, so I've been letting myself indulge in food, but that's gotta stop soon, too. I don't understand how people eat so cheap on here. I have a wife and one kid who is 11 years old. I average about $25 a day on food, which is about $2.77 per person per meal. I cook 95% of my meals at home. I'm always in the kitchen and I usually buy things on sale. Yes, I do like to eat protein, but nothing extravagant. I'm reading some of these comments. How do you eat so cheap? Lentils. Jesus Christ. I'll never understand how people on here say their food budget is $300 to $400 a month. You can't eat junk food for that price, and you can't eat decent home-cooked meals for that. You can't go out to eat for that. WTF, are you eating rice and beans every meal? There is a huge difference in the cost of food in different regions. I live in the Midwest among farmers. The cost of living is lower here overall. So food is cheaper and often of better quality. I think I can chip in here. University student, but I try not to live like one. I am pretty sure I could manage a meal for 3 within 400, so assuming about $130 per person. I buy exclusively from Aldi. They are just dirt cheap, no way around it. More veggies than red meat. I largely avoid pork, beef, and go more for veggies and chicken. Base a lot of dishes around eggs, onions, tomatoes, potatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, beans and peppers. Cheap veggies and healthy protein. Often add chicken, sometimes beef. Apples and oranges are the most common fruit. Strawberries making an occasional appearance. Cereal in the morning. Exclusively so. That's most of it. Once I start earning, I will definitely be living more extravagantly than this. But I still don't see my grocery expenses exceeding $250 per person per month. I used to spend $30 per day on fast food. $10 each on breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My cousin noticed how many cups I would bring home. He then pointed out how much I was spending. My jaw dropped at how much I spent. So he took me to the grocery store that weekend and I spent $45 on food that lasted me the following week. The thought of not wanting to spend money on fast food resulted in weight loss and saving up for big purchases, gaming PC, paying off my motorcycle, etc. Now I just cook my own meals for the week and eat a big meal at my favorite restaurant on Sundays for $30.
If you enjoyed this week's effective way to waste time, hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. If you are enjoying the series, leave me a comment below. A special shout out to the content creators. You frickin' rock.